Welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy. Last night, I made a post about Cenk Uygur and his anti-Trump, but yet his vote for Hillary Clinton. And I, in the description, said that I did have questions, and I do. And more like statements, more like notifications. This is not right. This isn't right. See, I'm voting for Jill Stein because I'm not voting against Trump. I'm not voting against Hillary. I'm voting for Jill Stein. I'm voting for me, my interests. I'm voting for what I think is best for America. And Cenk wants to say that he's not taking any chances by any means. Then I got this question for you, Cenk. I know you probably won't hear this for another 20 years or so, but here's my question. Where the fuck were you? Where were you all this time? Back in 2015, in October, you were a Bernie guy. You were a strong Bernie guy. You wanted Bernie to win. You got behind Bernie. You supported Bernie. You had him on your show. Then you started going to his rallies in 2016. You started opening for him. You was a very strong advocate for Bernie Sanders. Your listeners, your over 3 million subscribed listeners, and the millions that go beyond that just kind of pop in and out, they are listening to you. They need a voice. You have, as you say, the largest online news network. You do. You destroy CNN. You destroy MSNBC, Fox News. You destroy everyone. But yet, where the fuck were you? The same place you were when Obama had ran for his second term. You were really discovering everything about dirty politics, money in politics, the lies, the corruption, the greed, the mendacity, all surrounding money in politics, and you advocated for the 6 or 7 months. Oh, your vote means nothing. They have the super delegates, and one vote from them is worth 10,000 to 15,000 of yours. They listen to the politician buyers, the donors, the lobbyists, the corporations. They don't listen to you. You advocated that to your listeners. You were a powerful advocate of don't vote because it doesn't matter. It doesn't work. And your listeners who follow you did not vote, and therefore mayors, governors, senators all across America that were deep-seated Republicans, they got into office. They won the seats. And you get back on and you are raging at people. Yes, because of you, all these people suddenly have governors and mayors and senators who are legislating bills to get the Bible to be the main source of education in schools. These people want schools to go no further than 8th grade. They don't want science taught. They want to remove science and history and replace it with the Bible in school. These people want to secede from the United States. Personally, I say, let them go. But where were you? Where were you this year? Bernie dropped out. You didn't even get behind Jill Stein. You didn't even want to get behind Gary Johnson. I don't blame you for Gary Johnson, but Jill Stein was just basically the female form of Bernie Sanders. That's what we needed. Where were you? I was advocating it. I think Jimmy Dore was definitely advocating her. I think Kyle Kalinske was advocating her, but nobody else. Farron Cousins, Ring of Fire, they weren't advocating her. You weren't advocating her because of your bullshit belief and bias in that third parties are worthless. That's why you didn't say anything, because you already had it made up in your fucking mind that third parties were meaningless. And because of your own bias and your own goddamn political stupidity, you aided in this. You aided in Trump versus Hillary. You aided in the misogynist, racist Trump versus the I don't give a shit about one thing or the other so long as I give the corporations what they want. Hillary Clinton. Apathetic little shit she is. And you've got Trump who is actually for something. And you know what he's for? Just the good old days. He wants to take it back to slavery. And Hillary doesn't give a damn if it goes back to slavery or not. I mean, I'm sure she wants to get every super predator off the street. You have 100 segments of Loser Donald. You have all of these shows against Hillary Clinton. You've got 2 interviews with Jill Stein. You did a town hall with Jill Stein, and you still wouldn't say anything. You had months to get behind Jill Stein. You did this. You are the one with all of these followers, all of these listeners. They can't lead, so they follow. Who do they vote for? That's why they watch you. Who to not vote for? That's why they watch you. You made it set in stone that you weren't voting for these establishment bastards, but you would not get behind Jill Stein. You would not get behind even Gary Johnson. I would have liked if you got behind anybody. You even talked about that McMullen dude who ain't worth a shit. Politically, he ain't worth a shit. But yet, he's doing better than Jill Stein because you talked about him more than her. You talked about this guy who's only good in one state way more than somebody who would do best for every state. So if Trump wins, it's on your hands, Cenk Uygur. It's on your hands, Anna Kasparian. It's on all of the Young Turks' hands. All of them. I'm voting my conscience. I'm voting for something. I'm voting for my safety. I'm voting for my rights. I'm voting for the future of me, my woman, my child. I'm voting for the future of my finances. I'm voting for the future of my health. All you're doing is playing political games just like these corporations, just like everybody else. Clearly, if you partner with someone like Google, you can't talk about them. You won't talk bad about them anymore. You used to. You stopped. So it makes me wonder, who the fuck else is paying you? How much is your soul worth? What are they doing? What are they matching? Because sure enough, I know that's a strong allegation that you're getting paid off to not talk about Jill Stein. Most likely you're not. I'm just saying, why not talk about the one person, as you would say, the one person that's on your side? Bernie left. Jill Stein was left, and you did not talk about her. You would not push it. You would not advocate. You would not let your listeners get the best information to make the most informed decision possible. And now, because of you, we've got a xenophobe versus an apathetic xenophobe. So no matter what it is, Trump or Hillary, it's going to be the same. Trump just can't push a button. You just voted for Hillary out of fear. You did the same thing Bernie Sanders did. Bernie just wants $15 minimum wage. You want $15 minimum wage. I want $22 minimum wage. Okay? $15 is double $7. Yeah, actually more than double. However, at the same time, people are just going to be a little less broke. That's all $15 is. It's a little less broke. It's not livable. They settled on less broke. After all this talk, your talk about having $20 or $22, if our wages matched our growth, that's what you advocated all of last year, all of this year, and where is it? You just broke and said we need $15. So, yeah, I can ask, who the hell has gotten to you? Or is it just you gotten to you? Because most of the time, in this world, in this life, the only people that get in any person's way is either themselves or someone else. Conflicts of interest, whether internal or external, are conflicts of interest. And I'm wondering what yours is. So, now that we're just days from the election, I'm still going to vote Jill Stein. No, she doesn't have a chance, but I promise you this, Cenk, if you had showed up like you want everyone else to show up, she would have had a chance. She would have had 3 million plus everyone that they've been talking to. They don't. You did a disservice to them. You did a disservice to yourself. And if you hear this, just like I say to anyone else who hears this, thank you for listening.